Two reports released by the NITI Aayog and US-based Rocky Mountain Institute believe that India can become a market leader in electric vehicles by the year 2030. Is that really feasible? We'll discuss this further, and we are now joined by James Newcomb, the Managing Director of Rocky Mountain Institute. Ashpreet, in fact, is here to take us through that interview. Ashpreet, take it away.
Well, let's take this forward. Mr. Newcomb, thank you so much for joining us right now. In fact, let me go ahead straight to what your report suggests in the beginning. It suggests that India can capture 80% of the battery market. What are the challenges that you foresee?
Well, on the one hand, there's a tremendous opportunity for India in battery manufacturing, looking at the market size. The scale of this industry is certainly one that will attract global interest. There are challenges in achieving this vision. They have to do with the relative scarcity of some of the key minerals that are used in lithium-ion battery chemistries. They have to do with the fact that India has a relatively nascent battery manufacturing industry today. But these are challenges that can be overcome. They will require coordination of public and private sector stakeholders. And we've proposed in the report released a structure that can enable that coordination, a battery manufacturers consortium. This would look something like what exists in the high-tech sector among integrated circuit manufacturers who created such a consortium called Semitech in the 1980s to support coordination of research, a technology roadmap, and alignment around a vision for the future of the industry.
But Mr. Newcomb, could you also make us understand as to what kind of an investment will India need to make or to set up the battery manufacturing factories that you referred to in your report?
Well, the investments are quite extraordinary. The investment that Tesla has made in its gigafactory in Texas is about $5 billion. And India could require on the order of 20 gigafactories to meet its projected electric vehicle needs by 2030. So that's on the order of $100 billion. This is probably an upper bound estimate for those requirements, given the fact that technology is improving. In fact, even the battery chemistries themselves may change in that time frame so that we could see dramatic further price reductions. So it's difficult to say, looking out more than a decade at future investment costs, but this gives us a sense of the scale of investment requirements. It's certainly one that is attracting global interest from vehicle manufacturers and battery manufacturers, knowing the size of market opportunity here in India.
Well, Mr. Newcomb, let me also get you on this. Who do you think should get subsidized, the OEMs or the auto component manufacturers? There's a big debate there.
So it remains to be seen what form the subsidies will take. We've issued a paper that describes a particular policy tool known as fee-bates that requires no net infusion from the government. It's a self-funding program that imposes fees on the least efficient vehicles and provides rebates to the most efficient vehicles. So this is one of the alternatives on the table. There are also some policy tools that might help early stage battery manufacturing, and these could be a combination of steps by both the central government and state governments to provide tax incentives, to provide land grants, to provide expedited permitting processes. These are conventional around the world, where we see battery manufacturers finding the best venues for production. And India should look at the leverage points it has to attract those manufacturers to build plants here in India and to begin to scale their production to India's future requirements.
Well, thank you for joining us, Mr. Newcomb. That's all from me. It's back to you, Kritika.
Okay, Ashpreet, thank you so much for taking us through that interview. Interesting report in terms of what lies ahead for the electric vehicles space in India.